My name is Hang Dak, Managing Director, CBRE Vietnam, and very happy to be here. Thanks for PropTech to invite me. The real estate market, I think almost everybody here will know about the market in last year. And as we all know that real estate market in Vietnam, we had a lot of challenges last year, especially for real estate, for residential market. However, in commercial, including office and industrial, the business is better. And for CBRE, we saw and we did more transactions. So it seemed that the market for industrial and office is still okay, good. And however, I think in the second half of 2023, thanks to the government already had some policy and some method to support for the market. So we can see that some fiscal policy as well as the legal system, some small improvement. So in the second half of the year, the residential market seems as getting more movement and some small improvement in some areas of the market. And we hope that moving ahead to 2024, the market will have some improvement in compare with 2023. So in general, I must say that the whole year, I guess everybody here, I mean, like our business also have to suffer a lot and facing a lot of challenging in the market. Yeah. You know that despite some improvement in terms of the system, in terms of legal, we have the law, some like housing law and real estate business law had the approval from the National Assembly recently, but it will not effective until January 2025. So, but I think by that time the residential market will have more opportunity to pick up. However, for the next year, I think we still have a lot of bottleneck in legal system in many areas. So that's why we still have very limited in terms of supply in the market. Even next year there's some improvement, but we can see that there's only about 30,000 units will come into the market next year for both Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. But most of them are in the high-end or luxury or segment, which means that the pricing still like quite high for most of the buyers. That's why I think will be still very challenging for the market, I think.
Thanks for the question. So my name is Duong. I recently joined Bất Động Sản as the country manager. I manage property guru business and Bất Động Sản at PropTechVN in Vietnam. I'm in technology for 20 years, probably spending 14 years with Google doing maps and Android in Singapore and the US, and just come here. So thanks for having me, and thank you for staying this late for us. I know it's a long day for a lot of people here. So back to the questions about market challenge and what we have done. So, I mean, if you look at the overall market, that's the answer, right? But if you start segment it out, then you can see opportunities, right? For example, if you segment it out by regions and by property types, you can see that things like condominiums still doing pretty well in the south, especially Saigon, and especially in the secondary market, right? So we see that grow in terms of number of listings on our platform pretty well. We see rental is quite stable, right? I think, I mean, buy and sell would have a bunch of challenge, but rental is doing well. We see things like, for example, in Saigon now, it's really hard to do a transaction on street-facing house with high value. But if you go a bit further into small alley, those are still doing well. Right? A lot of business moving from a street-facing store into e-commerce, and they need another like storeroom, another side, cheaper in the alley. So those are doing well. So it depends on how you segment the market. And based on that understanding, we have been focused on things that have opportunities, and then leaving a bit out on the things that we know that is a bit quiet. So we look at, for example, we look at the number of listings would have a discount word in it, right? So how that number of listings change over time across category, and we see that it had been reducing. At this point of time, maybe 1% of our listings have that discount, right? So people are not cutting price to get it sold, right? So it's a good signal. It used to be like 10, 15% earlier this year. So we kind of believe that the market had going through the bottom, start picking it up a little bit. And based on a few signals that we see from the last cycle, at this point of time, and now through a crystal ball, we are thinking of next year, some of the sectors start recovery, maybe in the second half of next year. Start with something that people have real demand, like houses and condominium, and then further other investment sector will start blows up and will start going up. Thanks for the question. I think we are looking to do both. Property Guru had been expanding in the region through M&A, right? So in Vietnam, they acquired PropTechVN. In Asia, they acquired another one. In Thailand, they acquired DD Property, right? So have been the strategy of growing to the regional presence. And I think we are looking to do both. So more than happy to connect with all the founders here if you have good ideas and good things to talk to. I'm personally very keen in investing in PropTech. So back in the time that I was in Silicon Valley, we have a small venture fund called Viet Valley Ventures. And we had been going around talking to multiple startups in the PropTech industry and didn't see an opportunity to invest in. But yes, open-minded. Second, on the thing that we probably try to build, then I mean, Property Guru at the core of it is the tech company. And we definitely try to solve a few problems that the market is having. One of that is trust and transparency, right? How do we enhance trust in the market? How do we make developers, agents, seller, buyer gain trust through more information, accurate information, and things like that? So these are the things that we probably invest furthermore.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for inviting me to be a panel here. Actually, I'm from Hong Kong, but we travel all over the world to promote our brand, Crystal Waters. This brand started in Greece, so where we have a resort on Lefkada back in 7-8 years ago, we started developing in Greece. So everyone was so surprised, asking me, "Okay, why are you developing in Greece?" Back in the years, Greece has been, overcoming a little bit of, issues. But now, since 2013, I've been investing in Greece for a reason. And, we have been doing so...
You got in right after the crisis. Asset prices were down. You picked up a lot of properties.
we have been doing okay. And we have been witnessing, the country was changing about, new airports, new infrastructure and all these things. So from there, we have a Greece hospitality brand called Crystal Waters. So the idea is, because we have two presence, one in London and one in Greece. London is somewhere with an international exposures to investors. So from legal perspective, from clients' demands that we understand from the international buyers from their inside out. But Greece is somewhere different that we understand the tourist demand because international tourists come into Greece to enjoy the holidays, and everyone is enjoying their good times there in Greece. So we combine both from the legal perspective and from the hospitality perspective, that will bring in international investment opportunities to overseas buyers. And this is especially when the Greece has the residency scheme. By investing in properties that you've got the residency, and that's how we get the buyers because they come in.
So a solid USP is getting EU residency through your platform.
and that's how we build our portfolio so far. And for now, what we are trying to look at is to promote the brand internationally, to see if we can have an opportunity in Southeast Asia or in Dubai or in Istanbul, that we have been launching projects there. So both inbound investment and outbound investment for every countries that we have been going. We would like to promote our brand as Greece Hospitality, and also we would like to promote some more good investment opportunities to the local buyers. For example, not only the returns that they can get in, but also they can do the residency program, which is a little bit of benefit for them to expand their business overseas, especially in the European zone. So we are quite lucky that we entered hospitality sector rather than just now some panels speakers they have been covering. There's a little bit of struggle, but hospitality was doing so good even after COVID, because people's preference are changing. They prefer not staying in the office, but maybe looking at our development of islands, there are many renters. They come in just to work from islands or work from resorts, which is quite a unique lifestyle. This kind of demand created a very good investment value to our portfolio. So we don't really rely on much on the financing, because the product itself sells. So we have been seeing good demands on investment.
Sorry, is that what you? Is that again another USP you are giving to the owners? Is that they buy the asset and then you manage the property for them as a vacation home, and the demand is the digital nomads? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So for the digital nomad side, it's about the core demand that we have got from the tenants. So when we make a good portfolio of rental returns, even within our portfolio or for the properties that we have managed for our investors, these are, because the fundamentals were doing good, and that's why we are not so much rely on financing.
Wonderful. Again, bringing about to all of us a little bit and talking about PropTech again, can we kind of comment, any one of you can do that, and what in the PropTech tech stack is interesting to you guys as purchasers, for example, right? And we talked briefly, I talked to you about possibly property management, customer relationship management. Can you give me some ideas where these are areas of technology you're testing in property or willing to test in the property market? Anyone can speak on.
Well, actually, this afternoon I have met an agency, which is another listing platform, and they were talking about listing properties to overseas buyers. It's like what you said about trust issues and from legal perspective, how they can secure a better overseas investments for the buyers. I think it has to be started from developers, because as developer, we always travel around to meet our clients, and building trust, not only starting from the listing platform, but also all the way down to our property management and how we do after sales with our clients. So we understand our clients from inside out, like the Greeks and Vietnamese. They are always fighting for who has the best coffee. So that's how we connect with the clients, and how we fine-tuned the elements within our development projects to match the overseas investors' needs. So not only technology, but it's at the end of the day, it's linking back to the people. Of course, technology helps, and I'm expecting from our audience how technology can bring in more value adds to the hospitality as well. But end of the day, it's come back to people's touch for real estate.
Thanks for the question. So I'm a product guy. So technology need to solve a real user need and user demand. Otherwise, it will be useless. With us in Property Guru, I think the things that we probably invest on in the near future is big data and AI, probably because that is one of the key differentiator that we have in the market. For example, in Vietnam, we've been there for 17 years. We have been collecting a lot of data. We don't have transaction price, but at least we have listing price, right? We have listing price across all category, all property type on the regions. So recently, for example, we have launched a price history that showing how price have changed on any single house, any single property projects and things like that. So at least everyone participating into the marketplace would have an indication of relative price change over time, right? Agent now have a better tool to go talk to the clients. Buyer and seller have a better understanding of how price have changed and what could they expect in terms of appreciation over time. And we will continue to invest in that route. I mean, collecting more data, building cool, useful feature out of those data. That's true. It's really hard to get transaction price. And I know at PropZ, you guys have been trying pretty hard for that, right? So I think, I mean, we are trying to do multiple things, but I think at the beginning, listing price is probably a good proxy. Relatively over time, relatively against different category. And I think it would be a good starting point to tackle first.
Yeah, unfortunately, the data was not clean enough to get to a transaction level quality, but from a lead gen quality, it's generally fine. Yeah. So looking at a Zillow, Redfin type of model still works for the market.
I haven't seen any big data as clean enough. Tell you guys, I mean, I spent years in Google building products that probably not in Vietnam yet, but we try to predict what is the speed limit of the road, you know, and in Google we have multiple data. We have Android pinging every second. We have the speed of the car. We have people navigate with Google Maps. We have Street View going with all the imagery. But we even all with that, right? With the top-notch engineering team in Silicon Valley, our best prediction on highway in the US is like 85% accurate, right? If you have recall of 100%. So, I mean, data is very messy, and we need to live with that.
Yeah, we were quite lucky at One Housing to have it's a very small segment of data that we had, right? But we got to a very strong beta, but again, not a tradable data. We weren't going to do Zillow Open Door anytime soon, right? But definitely a data number that was, pretty good for me.
In terms of PropTech, I think in the last few years, CBRE Global, already at CBRE, we invest quite a lot in PropTech, especially on the platform for our services. Of course, like you mentioned earlier, we did use a lot of different platforms for property management, for example, in commercial or residential properties. And one of the areas we do need to, we did have a lot of good investment in the system and the PropTech, like in retails. For example, in retail, we have calibration is the platform which we can analyze for all retailers where the best location to open a store, for example. It can collect the data, analyze, and provide on the retailer the footfall of the area. If we're talking about the streets, where we have the more footfall than our other areas, and where the people go, where the people come from, and how long they will stay in that area, and then where they will go. So all of that, we have all the analysis for retailer to choose the location for their store. So, and CBRE, we still focus a lot in technology. I think in the next few years, we still planning to do a lot more, maybe through M&A or through different channel in order to get more technology for the company.
And I'm sorry if I'm unfamiliar, but with CBRE, are you more focused on seller-side services or buyer-side services?
Well, actually, we are real estate consultants, and we do both. In brokerage services, we can represent to buyer and seller. It depends on the appointment. But we work for landlord. We have team to work with landlord, and then we also have the team to work with tenant representative.